I guess a good place, Joe, is just tell us about the portal guys. You got 3 portal guys.
Yeah, so C.J. Madden from Georgia. We got Sheeta from Boston College, and then Jairo from a small town, Franklin College, man. And they're all doing a really good job learning the defense. They possess different things, and I think that's important to look for in trying to develop your room. They've all came in with a great attitude, ready to learn the defense, and I think they've all made tremendous strides from practice 1 of spring to where we're at now.
Jairo, like a diamond in the rough from a Division III school, looks like he can play at this level.
Yeah, I think so. And especially like coming in, learning how to play out of a 2-point stance, learning the speed and the physicality of the Big Ten. It took him a little bit, but as spring, and he really produced in the spring game. And I think he's got a bright future. I think as he goes through summer, stays with our strength coach, keeps learning the defense, I think he's going to be a good player for us.
A lot of excitement for Will Held, Coach. I mean, just talk about maybe what he could be this year.
Yeah, Will's kind of taken over as the leader. He's young, but he knows it. He's really smart. He's the type of kid that you can just say, hey, we got to do this, and it's done. You don't have to worry about Will making a bunch of busts and MEs. And I think where he's made the biggest jump this year is he's become more of a playmaker. He's learned where he can kind of take more risks, where he can try to be more impactful on the field, and I think he's primed to really have a breakout season this year.
When you go in the portal and you have guys that did what KJ and Nick did last year, is that a foot in the door for a lot of these guys, just saying, hey, here's how we run our system?
I think so. I think for any pass rusher out there, I think the system really fits those guys. The production speaks for itself, and you're not necessarily trying to go out and find another Nick or KJ, but you want to find guys that have traits that apply to what we ask those guys to do. We've got a bunch of guys that are long, they're explosive, they're strong, and they're smart. And, if you can find guys that possess all those, then you're going to have success in this defense.
What's your ideal 1-2 punch on those 2 ends? I mean, do you want guys who can do different things and kind of work off each other?
I think so. I think if you have a bunch of the same player, then teams can kind of scheme towards that a little bit. I think each of the guys in the room have a little bit of a different factor about them. Some guys are more speed, some guys got really good length, some guys are strong. And I think being able to mix that up, especially when we're pass rushing, it gives the tackles a little bit of issues, hopefully,
Will's 6'6". That's something you can't teach. So
that's right.
He's got the body for it already.
Yeah.
Now is it just kind of like oiling a machine, basically?
Yeah, I think just getting him and getting in the weight room and getting with Coach Preston Gordon, Coach Arnick when we're on the road, like he's the type of kid that takes all those guys and brings them with him. And for him, I think the sky's the limit. Obviously, he has the God-given size, speed, and strength, but I think the thing that makes him and separates him is his work ethic.
Are you worried about replacing the production of Nick and KJ up front?
No, and I don't think you can worry about that. I think you just try to get really good players, develop really good players, and let the chips fall where they may. I think we're going to be just fine, and I think all those guys are ready to step into those shoes and do the best they can.
Did you fight to keep KJ up front, or who was?
Oh, there were some conversations, man. He's a great player, so I think any safety, he can play quarterback probably. I think you just want a player like that around. So we're glad that he's here, and I think it's credit to Coach Walters and what he'll do for the players. I think for him to make it to where he wants to go, like people wanted to see him play in the box, and through the spring practices he can do it, and I think it's really credit to Coach Walters putting these guys in position to reach their highest potential.
What's your biggest sell here?
Well, I think our head coach is awesome. I think the scheme fits the position that I coach. I think if you can get guys that want to wreck shop in the backfield, get after the quarterback, and have a one-on-one block every time, I think this is the scheme for those guys. And it's not really much of a recruiting pitch. It's just honesty. Like you come in, we show them what we do defensively, and then usually if they want to do it, they'll jump right in because it's fun for those guys.